Great day, everybody. My name is Major, and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And I have a new and improved scrap deck, and you'll be surprised what this deck contains. But first, I'm going to show you my replays. So I think I started modifying my deck from this point all the way here. So I did get one loss. I'm not so sure why, but this new deck it gives scraps, a negate board that is pretty difficult to get through. So with this kind of deck profile, the scrap monsters have more options. They can go first much better with this profile. So you know what? Let's just go and play the replay. So you'll see how good this deck is right now. So the first duel, first victory with this deck. Let's just wait for it to load. And here we go. So as you can see, this is sort of a not so good hand. We don't have the factory, but we can get access to the factory by getting our Raptor. So I'm not so sure what I did here. Let's just wait and see. I think I'm gonna get Orthos. Right, so Raptor, and then we're gonna get our factory. Then I'll think I'll probably normal summon my Searcher, then special my Orthos, and then that way we get the special summon. But then there's Ash Blossom, and that just that sucks. But good thing we have Monster Reborn, so I can still go and use Scrap Wyvern. I can deploy Scrap Wyvern, and let's see what I'll do next. Sort of forgot what I did, but got Orthos, so yeah, we can return, what do you call this? We can return Raptor back to our hand, so that's great. We have continuity for the next turn, and we also get Searcher for free to resurrect, and we're just waiting for this to finish. We're gonna get Golem. Right, and then we have to destroy a card. We get Golem, we get our Orthos, and we get our Halqifibrax. So I added Christian Halqifibrax to this deck. I special summoned the Scrap Goblin, and here we go. We've got Appaloosa. So this is if your hand is not so favorable, this is just one of the options that you can go to. So you have two monster effect negates, and you have protection from monster attacks given that they do not pierce through your defenses. Because you know Scrap Goblin can last pretty long. I've had some good memories with a Scrap Goblin. It can survive the Numeron Network Rush. So I was laughing so much whenever I get those kinds of duels. They're just frustrated that they cannot destroy Scrap Goblin. So anyway, back to the fight. We're gonna lose both of our cards, but then we can recover. I think I'm going to recover Scrap Wyvern with a Scrap Goblin, and of course, oh, I recovered Orthos. That's weird. Anyway, so we can normal our Raptor, get back our factory, and then since we can normal summon again, we can actually use our Golem. So there we go. And we're gonna deploy again, special summon, and then I think this is the turn where we return back, yeah, Wyvern. And we're gonna special summon another Wyvern. We get another free Searcher. So as you can see, this deck it's still swarming the field. There's not much change from before. So for the changes you've seen are the addition of Appaloosa and Halqifibrax. So they both open up new opportunities for this scrap deck. So what am I gonna do here? So another Scrap Wyvern. Then we're gonna get a Golem. We're gonna destroy our Searcher. We're gonna destroy his spell card, I think. Yes, his field spell. Then another Golem. I think we're about to finish this fight. I don't think I'll show the other card that I added, because we're gonna clear his field. We get another searcher, and then oh wait, oh yeah, you didn't get to see it. You didn't get to see the other card because the enemy disconnected. So let's explore this now. Let's not get to the loss first. I think in this replay, this next victory, you'll get to see the next card that I added to the deck. It's a really annoying card, you know? Just imagine Herald of Ultimateness, but not as powerful as Ultimateness. So, this is a good hand. I'm not sure if I showed you in the last deck profile that I added Speedroids, just to sort of have more monsters to use on the field. I'm not also sure if in the previous deck profile that I showed you Cicada King, because one variation or one kind of board that you can end up with this deck is you can get a Cicada King, a Scrap Golem, and a Scrap Wyvern. So we're gonna get our token, we're gonna get Scrap Wyvern. I think, yeah, I'll get to deploy Appaloosa and the secret card in this match. So let's just fast forward. Forgot to press that button. So get Recycler. We're gonna get Golem. We're just gonna have to destroy one of these with Wyvern's effect. So as you can see, that's how useful this Speedroid cards are. You can use them for destruction. You don't want to sacrifice some of your set cards or any other cards. So we get Healthy Fibrax, and then activate the effect. We get Scrap Worm, and then boom! We get Scrap Beast. So you all know how strong Scrap Beast is. It's like Herald of Ultimateness, but it's just for spell cards. So that was a pretty strong board. We got Appaloosa, Naturia Beast, so no monster effect, no spell cards, but unfortunately the enemy had Ghidorah, Kaiju, and got rid of our Appaloosa. So the only negate we have now is Scrap Beast, but that has been pretty annoying to the enemy. I think the enemy has spell cards, but just cannot activate it. So we still have a Maxi, we have Deinonychus just in case an annoying card pops out. So he activates his spell card, we get to negate it with Beast. And I thought that Beast was gonna be able to negate that one, but it turns out it only negates cards on the field. Didn't say on the effects though. So we sacrificed our Ghidorah, and we got Solemn Judgment. I'm not so sure why my Scrap Factory didn't trigger, since my monster was destroyed by a scrap effect. I mean by a card effect. Factory just says card effect over here, so I should have been able to special summon. But anyway, so the enemy used another spell card, but then we just negated it with our Scrap Beast. So Scrap Beast is good. We get to dump some of the monsters in the graveyard. And this one, I thought, I didn't see that this card went to the graveyard, not so sure what its effect was. So we got a much more prolonged battle, where Deinonychus was gated. I'm not able to destroy that. But here in main phase 2, I tried my best to get rid of that card, because I think if I don't, we'll be able to make some sort of play. So I have to get rid of it. I think I'm just gonna use Wyvern's effect. And you gotta be careful with this deck, because as you can see, we have Searcher. Oh, did we have Searcher? I'm not so sure if we had Searcher. Wait, can scroll down. Oh, we don't have Searcher yet, but be careful if you have Searcher in your graveyard. If you have Naturia Beast on the field, do not special summon your Scrap Searcher, otherwise you'd lose your spell card negator. So We just triggered Scrap Wyvern some effect. We're gonna destroy this set card. Then we're gonna go for battle. Oh, apparently not yet. We're just you know, messing around a bit. Special summon the golem. Come on, attack him. Oh, we're just replenishing. Yeah, we're replenishing. It's important to replenish, you know, the scrap deck because as you can see, we can thin our deck pretty fast, especially if we have lots of special summon, special summon, special summon. And now that we have scrap, I mean Naturia Beast, we get to throw more cards into the graveyard. So yeah. Next battle is this one. I'm gonna show you the loss in a while. Right, so as you can see, the ideal end board for first turn for this deck is to have Anapalooza. It could be 2 to 3 monster negates depending on the amount of monsters on your field. And you should also be able to get Scrap Beast, so when the opponent's turn comes, you can negate the monster effects and you can negate the spell cards. So, you know, on the next turn you can probably end the game. So this time I didn't go crazy on the first turn because as you can see my opponent had max C, so I just set my Scrap Goblin because, you know, Scrap Goblin cannot be destroyed by battle for the first time. And then the enemies just let's fast forward a bit. This is the I'm not so sure what this deck is called, but it's like the Dark World and the Lords and stuff. So yeah, I faced this deck before, and what's annoying is their cards work together, they protect each other, so we have to be very careful when targeting either the monster or the spell cards. We have to really read the effects. So this is a sort of lucky situation for us that we didn't have that other Lord card that doubles the attack of one of his cards. So we got rid of that. We got we got disrupted by Ash Blossom. But then that's fine, that's fine. Can still go for a Scrap Wyvern. As you can see, we have this lots of options in our hand. So we now face 2 disruptions, but we will still be able to recover from this, as you can see. So we're gonna get our Recycler again, then we get to activate its effect. So you might be asking why okay, so the enemy gave up, that's great. Why I didn't activate my pot? The reason for that is it actually halves all the battle damage that my enemy takes. So if you're planning to OTK your opponent, make sure that you don't activate this card if you don't need to. So from this battle, you have witnessed that we were able to survive through 2 disruptions. So that's one another good thing about this deck is we can play through more disruptions. Let's look at this last battle. I think this is a Sky Striker deck, and as you know, Sky Striker decks rely heavily on spell cards, so you know what to expect if we have a Scrap Beast on our field. So again, we just get a Raptor, we get our factory, we activate the factory. We got Chimera. We actually still have, you know, 2 cards that can search for whatever we need in a deck, but if we don't need to, don't use them just yet. So yeah, with this kind of setup, regardless of whether you got the factory or you got Scrap Raptor first, you can still pretty much come out with the gate board, the Appalooza, and Naturia Beast, the gate board. So you have to be a bit careful when doing all these combos. Remember the requirements of the cards. For example, Hyperfibrax requires one tuner and one other monster. So, oh wait, this is a failed attempt. As you can see, this is a failed attempt at getting the negate board because I could have special summoned my Scrap Searcher, but it would destroy my Hyperfibrax. And at this point, I still didn't know what kind of deck my opponent had, so I chose to have an Appaloosa instead. So we go. We lost Appaloosa. We've got this Hayate. So you know, the thing about these Sky Striker decks is they're not really known for these one-turn kills, but now that I know that this is a Sky Striker deck, I just need to pull out my Scrap Beast. There we go, activate effects. This time we can bring out our Scrap Searcher because there are no other non-scrap monsters on the field. So as you can see, with this deck profile, we can replenish our hand, we can replenish our extra deck, we can come up with a board with good negates. I can even add Landois or Markian if necessary in this deck, but as of now, I've only added Turia Beast, Appaloosa, and Hyperfibrax. So what am I doing here now? We're just activating effects. We're trying to swarm the field with our monsters. And now we're gonna try to destroy that set card because I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, this is I think this was a dumb move because I should have looked for a way to get Silent Honor's Knight, because yeah, there's Ray. You know how annoying Ray is. And also this one, I should have done my math and set my Recycler to attack position because it would have been an OTK, even if because the monsters of the enemy are usually low attack. This is from the Sky Striker, but it's okay. The Sky Striker that was special summoned negated one of my attacks anyway, so that that OTK wasn't possible. So the enemy thought that he can play around my Scrap Beast by having those spell cards chained. But as you can see, Scrap Beast doesn't. I mean, Scrap Beast. Naturia Beast doesn't really care. As long as a spell card is activated on the field, it will negate it, similar to what do we call that? Similar to ultimateness. So yeah, finally let's look at the loss. Why did I lose here? Was it a break? I'm not so sure. So I won 4 out of 5 in this deck. I think the consistency of this deck profile is much better than before. Oh yeah, this looks bricky. This looks bricky. 2 Dynamiscus. Monster Reborn. We can Monster Reborn anything. We do have Maxi, but I think it's gonna get ashed. Yeah, it got ashed, so that's bad for us. What else? Yeah, this Igniter deck, I'm familiar with the Arrival. It's unaffected by I think everything, so it can only be destroyed by battle, I think. So there's that card which I think is problematic, so I decided to banish it. But then, you know, the enemy still has all these other cards, and I didn't choose to banish anymore since it would be a waste. And the enemy activated impermanence for some reason, so that's good for us. I mean, Scrap Chimera wouldn't have activated its effect anyway. So here we go, we have Wyvern. Oh wait! Oh, it only targets set cards. Yeah, Spell and Trap in this combo. I thought Wyvern wasn't gonna be able to activate its effect, but then, wow, look at that. 2 Ash Blossoms in the hand plus an infinite impermanence. Like, you know, really, why? But that's okay, we're gonna end up with a Borrelo Dragon. I'm not sure if I showed this guy in the previous deck profile as well, but you know, it gives us more flexibility. I think, yeah, this is the turn we lose because the enemy eventually found a way to win. But I think the enemy took a lot of time thinking how to get rid of this board, I think. Because this guy cannot be targeted. Can target this card with monster effects. Oh yeah! It shouldn't have been targeted. Because the enemy is gonna go for a, what do you call this? Access code talker. But the enemy shouldn't. Does access code talker target cards, or does it just destroy cards? I'm not so sure, but we'll see. Let's read. Cannot activate. Oh! You can target. What? Let's pause a while. I'm sorry. Your opponent can activate cards that are pause activation. Since then summon, you can target one link. Banish one. Destroy one card. Oh, it does not target. It just destroys immediately. Okay. And that's how we lost. we had a bricky hand, but that's fine. We would have been able to work through it. But you know, the enemy had 2 Ash Blossoms, 1 Impermanence. Like, come on. And our hand was not so participative. I mean, not so, you know, it wasn't so good either. But it's fine. It's fine. 4 out of 5. It's great. So the deck profile I'm going to show you right now. Scrap 4. As you can see, I only play with scrap monsters. I did try, you know, making a zombie deck or something, an Eldritch deck, but it's not really good. I didn't play on rank with that. I only play scraps, and I just keep on trying to improve my scrap deck over time because I like this archetype a lot. So we've got 46 cards on our main deck, and this is necessary in order to dilute and reduce the chances of getting bricks. So we have 3 copies of Golem, right? And we want to reduce the chances of getting Golem into our hand. There are also these other monsters like Searcher and Worm and Mecha Phantom Beast and Christian Rosenix that you don't want in your hand. So yeah, getting the main deck to 46 will sort of decrease those chances and increase the likelihood that we get the cards that we need, like the Factory, Raptor, and Terraforming, even Recycler, and also Chimera. So I'm gonna go through all this again. This is the latest deck profile. Scrap Searcher 1, Scrap Worm 1, 2 Mexis, 1 Mecha Phantom Beast, Olion, 3 Recyclers, 1 Scrap Goblin, 1 Speedroid Terrortrop, 1 Speedroid Teketomberg, Ash Blossom, 1 copy, 2 Scrap Chimeras, 1 Scrap Shark, 1 Scrap Orthos, 1 Rosenix, 3 Raptors of course, 3 Golems. Doesn't matter if other people say that I should just carry 2. I don't agree because even if I just carry 2, I still have high chances of getting golem into my hand. So you know what? Let's just run 3. 1 chronograph sorcerer. So some people would use chronograph, would have chronograph sorcerer and the other card, who's that? And time gazer magician on their deck as well, so that they can have a free monster just in case they want to use this. But I don't like putting time gazer magician on my deck because it does nothing when it's in your hand, and there's so many times that I got frustrated that I drew Time Gazer Magician, or Time Gazer Magician is in my hand and I can't do anything with it because I don't have Chronograph Sorcerer, or I don't have any other ways of using it. So I only carry Chronograph Sorcerer in my deck, because even without Time Gazer Magician, this guy is very helpful. So this guy's effect is if a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, I can special summon that card. Then I can special summon 1 monster from my hand. So on many occasions, I experience having Chronograph Sorcerer and Scrap Golem in my hand, and when one of my cards gets destroyed because of my opponent's cards, I can special summon Sorcerer, then special summon Golem as well. But it doesn't have to be that it's your opponent card that will destroy your card. It just says here if a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect. So if you have Scrap Raptor, if you have Chronograph Sorcerer, and if you have Scrap Golem in your hand, you can normal summon Raptor, you can destroy itself by its effect, you can get the factory, you can activate Chronograph Sorcerer's effect to special summon itself on the field, then activate its other effect to special summon 1 more monster from your hand, which ideally would be Scrap Golem, or if you have a Scrap Recycler, why not? Because if this guy is special summon, you can still use its effect. So yeah, that's how useful Chronograph Sorcerer is, and I don't mind not having Time Gazer Magician on my deck. It's a very big annoyance for me. I added 2 Kaijus to my deck because I felt the need to have the ability to remove monsters by tributing, and Godarla's been very instrumental in some of the against some of the opponents that I played against. For example, you did see the Raviel Lord card in one of the matches earlier that had an effect that every time I normal or special summon, the enemy would get to draw a card or destroy, I'm not so sure. Anyway, going back, 3 Golems, 1 Sorcerer, 2 Godarlas, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Terraforming, 2 copies of Fossil Dig. You can actually have 1 more copy of Fossil Dig if you want, but I think 2 is already good for me, because sometimes I'd get 1 copy of this and 1 copy of this, and then or 2 copies of this on my hand. So redundancy could be good, especially if your opponent has those several Ash Blossoms, so you can use one, it gets Ash Blossomed, but then you still have other one, so you can still play through your deck. But sometimes you don't want these things to just accumulate on your hand. Otherwise you won't be able to really pull out some plays. I added 2 pots of prosperity. We have 3 Scrap Factories. We still have 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. It's for those moments when you need to get rid of annoying cards like Skill Drain. We also have Deinonymiscus, 2 copies of Deinonymiscus for that purpose. And Deinonymiscus is actually really great because if you have a card that you don't need on your hand, you can throw it into the graveyard with Deinonymiscus and banish one of the cards that your opponent controls. Then if your enemy activates a trap card, you can special summon this card as a token. So I also have one copy of Demise of the Land. It's like terraforming, but you can only trigger it when your opponent special summons a monster. We can get Scrap Factory onto our field. So now we have like 5 sort of copies of Scrap Factory. That's excluding the Raptors. So we have 2 copies of Forbidden Chalice. This would come in handy still at times, negating monster effects. And we have Solemn Judgment. This is an Omni Negate, but at the cost of half your life points. So for my extra deck, we have the new entry with Naturia Beast. We have 1 Scrap Dragon. We have 2 Scrap Twin Dragons. We have 1 Cloud Castle. We have I added this guy because I think I was opening some packs randomly, and this guy's actually really good. I tried this on one of the matches. I think it was a 6 samurai opponent that I had. So the end of my board for that turn I think I had a wyvern, I had a golem, I had one of the roids on the field, and with golem's effect I special summoned a recycler from my graveyard. So no, I had the 2 roids, I special summoned raptor, I got this, and I overlaid the 2 roids because they're 3 stars, and I got the Cicada King. So I had a monster negate, and I had this guy who gains attack every time a monster effect is activated, and when it does reach 4000 attack, it has the ability to return itself and all the other monster cards the opponent controls back into the deck. So I've seen how it worked and I liked it, so I retained this guy on my deck. Again, 1 copy of Cicada King, 1 Daigusto Emerald, just in case the battles get prolonged and most of your golems are in your graveyard and you want them back onto your deck. We have 1 Silent Honors, for those annoying times when there are cards that shouldn't be removed from the field, so you use this card to make them stay on the field. I have this Link Spider, which I got from a lucky draw as well, from one of the random packs, I think, legacy packs. So I need this guy because there are times when I have Scrap Golem on my hand and I have Rosenix in my graveyard, but even if I special summon a Rosenix token on my field, I couldn't use it as tribute for Scrap Golem. So in order to address that issue, I can Link Summon for Link Spider, and then I'm gonna tribute Link Spider for Scrap Golem, then move on and play the game. So next I have Christian Halky Firebrax, 1 copy. We have 2 copies of Scrap Wyvern, 1 copy of Borelo Dragon, and 1 copy of Appaloosa. So these new cards that I've added, they open new opportunities for us to clear enemy boards and set up a good first turn. So this Halky Firebrax actually also has another effect. Yeah, also has another effect, and I'm not so sure if I will make use of this. It seems that if I go for the Appaloosa and Beast negate board, I wouldn't be able to use it, but we'll see. It depends on the hand that we have. So this is the deck profile, and once again I made it to platinum. I just go up and down, and this deck I think it's pretty competitive, and we are able to play against many of the meta decks, the Eldritch, the Sky Strikers, the Tri-Brigades, the Blue Ice decks. So I was able to play against them with a scrap deck, and that's it for today. So thank you all for watching, and I'll update you next time if I add other cards into this deck, and thank you.